Hello everyone, welcome to the next video on primitive roots. Let's begin with two constructs before that. These are two sets ZP and ZP star. So the first set ZP is a set of all integers modulo P where P is a prime number. Here we're considering only a prime number, but Zn, if n was not a prime number, n is any natural number, then Zn would be all numbers from 0 till n minus 1. That is all possible remainders when you divide by n. And addition and multiplication are performed modulo n or modulo p, as in this case. Then the second definition, Zp star, that is a multiplicative group of Zp and consisting of all the integers a and Zp such that GCD of a and p is 1. So we see that a can't be 0. Zp star is all the numbers in Zp without 0. So now the number of terms is p minus 1. And what is a multiplicative group? So groups are structures in math, group theory, ring theory, you've probably heard of them. We'll have a separate video on that in the future. And groups are defined over a set for a particular operation. So in this case, ZP star forms a group with the operation being multiplication. And it contains these elements in that set. Properties of ZP star. So group structure, it's a cyclic group. I'll explain why it's called a cyclic group. Its order is p minus 1. That is, it has p minus 1 elements. That's evident from what we saw before. 1 till p minus 1 is p minus 1 numbers. And there exists at least one generator G belonging to ZP star called a primitive root. So if P is a prime number, then ZP star is a cyclic group and it has at least one generator. And these 2 points are kind of related. So a cyclic group is defined as a group. One of its elements can generate all the elements in that group. Inverse. For every A belonging to ZP star exists an A inverse such that A times A inverse is congruent to 1 mod P. And remember, we know how to calculate the inverse based on the extended Euclidean algorithm, extended GCD algorithm. The other property is that the inverse exists for all elements in ZP star. Properties of Zn star, this would be. So Zn star is cyclic if and only if n is either 2, 4, p to the power of k, or 2 times p to the power of k, where p is a prime number. So in our case, we're considering Zp star. So that is the third category, p to the power of k, where k is 1. So it's a prime number. But these are the other forms which are also cyclic, and anything else will not be cyclic. Like Z8 star does not have a primitive root, or primitive root does not generate all the elements in a cyclic manner. Something goes wrong. You can try to solve that as an example yourself. Try to see why Z8 star is not a cyclic group, why it does not have a primitive root. Just write down all the numbers 1 to 7 and then see what's happening. Try to look into that. So let's go into primitive roots now. So what is a primitive root? A number G is a primitive root modulo n, also known as a generator of n, if for every integer a coprime to n, there exists an integer k such that g to the power of k is congruent to a mod n. This means that powers of g can generate all numbers in Zn star. What does this mean? That any one element in Zn star, that G be one of the elements in Zn star, if I raise that to various different powers, I can generate all the elements in Zn star. So obviously G to the power of 1 will generate G and all the other terms follow. And due to Fermat's little theorem, G to the power of P minus 1 is congruent to 1 mod P because G is an element in ZP star. So G and P will be coprime. So G to the power of P minus 1 will be congruent to 1 mod P by Fermat's little theorem. This means that G to the power of P is congruent to G mod P. So now we see that it's cyclic. Can G to the power of P plus 1 be congruent to G to the power of 2 mod P and so on. So this shows that it is cyclic with order P minus 1 and G to the power of all these powers 1, 2, 3, P minus 1. This set, G to the power of 1 mod P, G to the power of 2 mod P, G to the power of so on, G to the power of P minus 1 mod P, this set of numbers is equivalent to all the numbers in Zp star. Now each of the powers from 1 to p minus 1 of g generate a distinct value from 1 to p minus 1. This implies that g to the power of p mod p can not be congruent to 1 mod p unless p is a multiple of p minus 1. So just read this. there are no repeats and g to the power of b is not congruent to 1 mod p if b is not a multiple of p minus 1. Clear? And that's it for this video. Let's meet in the next video on the discrete log problem. Thank you.